Shalom. Shalom and welcome. Welcome to the channel. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Symmanayah. And this is Seed to Harvest, a series where I show correlations of things we can learn from conception to birth and beyond. Things that are important. You see, when it comes to having a child, we think about that life. We're presented with this is life of that child. But how many of us realize when we become born again into set apartness, the phrase, this is life, unleashes a new journey, a new meaning to the words, this is life. Come with me, O Yahushua, as I present to you some things that are important regarding this is life. If you are visiting this message, you are experiencing a component of life. Means you're alive, I'm alive, or at some point I was alive. I could be dead when you listen to it. Don't know. But come, let us view some components of life and possibly have our spirit stirred where we are encouraged to grow and set apartness. Allow me to present some pointers that respond to this is life. Let's take a look at John 1:1-5. John chapter 1, verse 1-5 says this: in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the Almighty One. And the Word was the Almighty One. He was in the beginning with the Almighty One. All came to be through him, and without him not even one came to be. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness have not overcome it. This is life. One thing we will learn, O Yahushua, that the Almighty Father Yahuah is life, and that he manifests his word, making it possible for us to have life. And that life is the light in which he's given us. It is everlasting life. And for the moment, for a season, we are in these earthen vessels. But we will learn the dynamics of this life. I want to read Deuteronomy 8, chapter 1-3. At my age, I found myself to the point where I reflect on this passage, at least the third verse, often to give me comfort regarding me and my wife. Let me read it to you. Deuteronomy 8, 1-3 says, guard to do every command which I command you today, that you might live and shall increase and go in and shall possess the land in which Yahuah swore to your fathers. And you shall remember that Yahuah, your Almighty One, led you all the way these 40 years in the wilderness to humble you, prove you, to know what is in your heart, whether you guard his commands or not. And he humbled you and let you suffer hunger and fed you with manna, which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, to make you know that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of Yahuah. This is talking literally to those who came out of Mitzrayim, those who were brought into the wilderness, guided by Moshe. But what stands out more than anything is knowing that man doesn't live by bread alone, but by every mouth that comes out of the Almighty Father. This is life. Proverbs 4, 7-11. I want you to read that with me. The beginning of wisdom is get wisdom, and with all you're getting, get understanding. Exalt her and let her uplift you. She brings you esteem when you embrace her. She gives your head a fair wreath. She shields you with an adorning crown. Hear, my son, and accept my words, and let the years of your life be many. I have taught you in the way of wisdom. I have led you in straight path. Wisdom. Yes, we receive life. But do we believe that Yahuwah gives life without wisdom? Do we pursue his wisdom? Drop down to the 23rd verse, 4th chapter of Proverbs. That was Proverbs 4, 7 through 11. Drop down to the 23rd verse. It say, watch over your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the sources of life. This heart is talking about is your inward man, my brothers and sisters. There are some passages of scripture that is talking about the heart as the brain, the cognitive, the mental factors. This is talking about the spirit of a man. And the sources of life is Yahuwah. For he dwells in us and is through his word manifest to us in Yahusha's name that this is made possible. Stay with me as I pivot to a passage that reveals some challenges we face as we explore the meaning of this life. Stay with me, Yahusha. I want to show an example of Shalum, of a struggle that he faced and what he put in Romans 7 chapter verses 14 through 20. Romans 7, 14 through 20 reads, for we know that the Torah is spiritual, but I am flesh, sold unto sin. For what I work, I know not. For what I wish, I do not practice. But what I hate, that I do. But if I do what I do not wish, I agree with the Torah that it is good. And now it is no longer I that work in it, but the sin dwelling in me. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwells no good. For to wish is present with me, but to work the good I do not find. For the good that I wish to do, I do not do, but the evil I do not wish to do, this I practice. And I do that which I do not wish. And if I do that which I do not wish, it's no longer I who work it, but the sin dwelling in me. He's talking about that brain, my brothers and sisters. And I'm going to take you further into it. You see, we will learn the structure of our bodies, from the brain to the inward man, the spirit. He goes on to say, I find therefore this law, that when I wish to do good, that the evil is present with me. For I delight in the Torah of the Almighty One. This, and Torah means instruction, according to the inward man. But I see another Torah in my members, battling against the Torah of my mind, and bringing me into captivity to the Torah of sin, which is in my members. The Torah of his mind, in this case, he's talking about his thoughts as the inward man. He's not talking about the brain there. He say, wretched man that I am, who should deliver me from this body of death? Thanks to the Almighty One through Yahushua Messiah, our Master. So then, with the mind, I myself truly serve the Torah of the Almighty One, but with the flesh, the Torah of sin. See, the brain is that flesh. This mind is talking about the inward man. Because notice how he's saying he's truly serving the instructions of the Almighty One. It's the flesh. You see, we can be programmed, conditioned in ways that affect how we read and comprehend things, how we interpret what we study. I pray that each of us can see the need to lean on Abba Yahuwah, whose words come in Yahusha's name. For even Shaul, who was strong, who was used in a phenomenal way by the Almighty Father, described how there was a battle within and without, and how it is the spirit of Yahusha that brought him victory. Now let me present some scriptures, my brothers and sisters. Referencing life, I pray these stir our spirits and make us realize there is much to learn, a lot to learn. There are and there will be battles. Consider Galatians 5:16 through 18. Galatians 5:16 through 18 says, and I say, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not accomplish the lusts of the flesh. For the flesh lusts against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are opposed to each other, so that you do not do what you desire to do. But if you are led by the Spirit, you are not under the Torah. In other words, he's saying you're not under the black and white, just the writings. You're under the living instructions. For beyond the writing comes the Spirit. When we learn to walk in the Spirit, while we are on milk, we may read just the black and white in instructions until we come to be led by the Spirit. Yasharal, O Yasharal, this is life. The inward man, the outward man, the presence of the Almighty Father dwelling within us, refining us, bringing us into subjection to Him and subjection to His ways. Yasharal, Yasharal. Let me read Proverbs 16:22. It says, understanding is a fountain of life to him who has it, but the disciplining of fools is folly. Fountain of life. Proverbs 19:23 say the fear of Yahuah leads to life, and he remains satisfied. He is not visited by evil. Matthew, that was Proverbs 19:23. Matthew chapter 7 verse 14 says, because the gate is narrow and the way is hard pressed, which leads to life, and there are few who find it. Matthew 16:25, that was Matthew 7:14. Matthew 16:25 reads, for whoever wishes to save his life shall lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake shall find it. Know what this means, O brothers and sisters. For the decisions we make in the days ahead will reflect our service, our worship, our position, our choice. John 3:16 say, for the Almighty One so loved the world, he gave his only brought forth Son, so that everyone who believes in him should not perish, but possess everlasting life. There are some people that'll tell you, you're not going to have everlasting life to the resurrection. You don't know. You ain't saved until the resurrection. Forgetting how you are empowered with to cast out demons, to heal the sick, to anoint one another, to restore one another, and set apartness. There are so many directions and instructions in scriptures when they are made alive, it can only be accomplished by a saved one, by one who possesses everlasting life. Though we walk in these physical bodies, that inward man has everlasting life. So the unlearned and the undiscerning will tell you differently. Beware of such. John 10:10 say the thief does not come except to steal and to slaughter and to destroy. I've come that you might possess life and that you might possess it beyond measure. He didn't say when you are resurrected. He said beyond measure. Prepare to receive all that the Almighty Father Yahuah has in store for his children. How we view things will shape the way we navigate through what's unfolding. In other words, in spite of the chaos, the wars, the rumors of wars, the fightings, the uncertainty, the civil unrest, and economic challenges, The Almighty Father knows what's in store and offer guidance to his children, present living orders. Although I speak of things related to this life, there is much to learn and do, my brothers and sisters. 3 sincere words that will be magnified in the days ahead are discipline, vengeance, and wrath. It is important to know that these are promised by Abba Yahuah. We will discover how to move in the midst of his discipline, vengeance, and wrath. Gird up, O Yasharal. This is life, and it requires work. It requires worship and obedience to the Almighty Father. It requires service to one another and set apartness. These words are real, even in the midst of people sugarcoating end-time realities. That will not stop what's unfolding. Come with me to Matthew chapter 5, verse 43 through 45. It reads, "You heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies, bless those cursing you, do good to those hating you, pray for those insulting you and persecuting you, so that you become sons of the Almighty One in the heavens. Because he makes his sun rise on the wicked and on the good, and sends rain on the righteous and on the unrighteous." You see, the reality of what's going to unfold is not going to be the things that are promised, that the Almighty Father is saying, okay, before I destroy that part of the land, I'm going to wait till this person leave. He's not waiting on us. He will be guiding and directing our footsteps as he gather us from the four corners of the earth, as he direct our footsteps and give us orders. Destruction will come, and it will fall on the righteous and the unrighteous. The thing is, the righteous know that it's just a returning these earthen vessels back to the dirt from which they come, but the spirit goes to Yahuwah's bosom, Abraham's bosom. The unrighteous will not know the difference. My brothers and sisters, when it talks about love your neighbor and hate your enemy, and he say love your enemies and bless those cursing you, doing what's right. Understand doing what's right, loving your neighbor and doing what's right to those cursing you, insulting you, and persecuting you. And understand doing what's right sometimes might be coming away or separating yourselves from that neighbor, that person. That's out of love. You're doing what's right and obeying the Almighty Father. Doing what's right might mean give that person a morsel of bread. That person might be one wavering on the fence about what life is. And out of the love that we demonstrate, we may discern and discover that that person is a brother or sister unlearned, beaten up, wounded, misused by wicked teachings. Let us seek to discern what the Almighty Father would have us to do, my brothers and sisters. And let us be mindful of the things he's going to do. It's not going to always wait for us to move out the way. And what he is doing is his choice. And the scriptures make known what to expect. My brothers, my sisters, we have entered into a season where it is important to be mindful of the Almighty Yahuwah's plan, especially in times. Decisions that we make will reflect how we interpret the words, "This is life." And are we going to make decisions that we're prepared to live with or die with? What we demonstrate before one another will prove to be most lasting. Our actions will be more than empty words. We will learn the importance of being stronger together. Our gathering will be at the instructions of the Spirit of Yahuwah, which comes in Yahusha's name. And it has begun and will magnify. It will magnify with such greatness that we will shout hallelujah and press into his words and seek to follow his chosen ones as they are led by him. Consider these words, O Yahusha. Isaiah 11:12 says he shall raise a banner for the nations and gather the outcasts of Yahusha and assemble the dispersed of Yehudah from the four corners of the earth. There will be a gathering. There will be the 12 tribes mentioned in Revelation 7 chapter. And once that has been fulfilled, all set apart children of Yahuwah will fall under the banner of Yahusha. Consider Isaiah 43:4-7 says, since you were precious in my eyes, you have been esteemed, and I love you. I give men in your place and peoples for your life. Do not fear, for I am with you. I shall bring your seed from the east and gather you from the west. I shall say to the north, give them up, and to the south, do not keep them back. Bring my sons from afar, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. All those who are called by my name, whom I have created, formed, even made for my esteem. There are those he has made for his esteem to fulfill his promises. He's not saying every set apart one will be gathered from the four corners of the earth. You see, because some of us will be martyrs for Yahusha's name. Some of us will die out of unbelief because we are unlearned and undiscerning. But there will be those whom he has chosen to fulfill that promise. Our understanding of this is life requires the need to grow closer to one another. For the Spirit of Yahuwah dwells in us, one towards another. Remember, we are many, but one body with different functions under one Spirit. Yahusha, Yahusha, I call out to you and say, if you hear these words, this is life. If you were looking for a leader, which would be easier to see? One who stands out or the one who is buried in the crowd? Which leader do you think would be easier to find? Do you believe that we are in a time where we need to be able to identify the leaders anointed by the Almighty Father to guide his children? And I ask you this question. Are they lifting up Yahusha? Do you see the leaders explaining what this is? Defining what this is life means? I ask again, are they lifting up Yahusha? They believe in the final Exodus. Are they lifting up Yahusha? They believe that we will go back to the promised land. Are they lifting up Yahusha? They believe unity will come for Yahusha. They believe that some of us will come together someday. Are they lifting up Yahusha? Who do you think will gather us together, my brothers, my sisters? With this said, let's read John 12:30-33. John chapter 12, verses 30-33 reads, Yahusha answered and said, this voice did not come because of me, but for your sake. Now is the judgment of this world. Now the ruler of this world shall be cast out. And I, if I am lifted up from the earth, shall draw all men unto myself. This he said, signifying by which death he was about to die. Signifying that in that sacrifice, resurrection will come, life will come. I submit to you that we will be gathered together. We will witness the Spirit of Yahusha being lifted up and watch him draw us together in these final days. Our obedience is how we lift up Yahusha. And how many of us are yielding to discipline? How many of us are putting our egos in check? How many of us understand the meaning of this is life, the life that Yahusha has made available to us? How many of us understand that man does not live by bread alone, but every word that proceed out of the mouth of the Almighty Father, knowing that this is life, comes with battles and struggles, but discipline and refinement, love, and so much more, made possible by the Almighty Father. Yahusha, oh Yahusha, out of our obedience we lift up Yahusha. This is how we will be gathered. Our natural lives are like basic training before our transformation. You see, the scriptures tell us that there will come a time when we will put off the corruptible, and put on the incorruptible. We will put off the corruptible life and embrace the incorruptible. Are you ready? Do you look forward to it? Let's take a look at 2 Corinthians 4:16 as I gradually come to an end. 2 Corinthians 4:16 says, therefore we do not lose heart, but even if our outward man is perishing, the inward man is being renewed day by day. Day by day, the inward man is renewed. We must learn how to discern and receive what is being given to us and taught to us in this life. 1 Corinthians 15:51 through 54. Come with me, my brothers and sisters. 1 Corinthians 15:51 through 54 says, see, I speak a secret to you. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in the moment of the twinkling of an eye at the last trumpet. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible has to put on the incorruption, and this mortal to put on immortality. And when this corruptible has put on incorruption, and this mortal has put on immortality, then shall come to be the word that has been written. Death is swallowed up in overcoming. Yahusha, oh Yahusha, we will learn the dynamics of this life. We will learn the battles and how to overcome, how to walk in victory and set apartness. This is life. Though we will face pain and suffering at times, look in the inward man. Look at the life, the everlasting life that the Almighty Father is providing. Know that this is basic training. Know that out of pain will come some joy to those who are his, to those who are set apart, to those who receive life by his word, Yahusha. Remember, do not lose heart and trust and believe that the Almighty Yahuah is real. Everlasting life is given through the word which comes in Yahusha's name. Let us never forget it, my brothers and sisters. Let us step into all that the Almighty Father has for us. That's all I have for right now, my brothers and sisters. I say again, this is life. Embrace it, understand it, walk in it as the Almighty Father guides us and provides for us. On that note, I leave you with words. Be encouraged. Seek to discern his voice. Be prepared to have a ready mind, body to respond. For end times are here. Soon and very soon, O Yahusha, some of us will meet others, for we will begin to come together. On that note, Shalum, and thank you.